Should be live now. Can you see me yet, Trey? Well, Trey's in there. Trey beat everybody else. Shrink this down. Pop out, Jet. Gotta rearrange all this stuff so I can see who's saying what to who to where. Okay, Trey gets the gold star. Mrs. gets the silver star. Big Charles gets the bronze star. And super moderator LS is the sheriff tonight. Smoking, you can be sheriff too. Not Chipper though. Because Chipper just barely subscribed to VA over there. West Wind just stayed. Boski. Mike Gilbert. That who ran past up there already. Brian Morlock. Frank Burns. And I think I'm caught up. Mel Dog, he just got. Okay, I'm caught up. David Littleton. I get Lil at LS can be the sheriff and you can be the police. Police. How's that?
You see what mine covers?
Making the chunkers not that hard. It's getting the stupid dart to go where you want it to go. There's a lot of videos out there on throwing those things. And you're going to want to watch those, and you're going to want to practice. You're going to want a really big target and a lot of room and some privacy. Just saying. If you don't have somebody coaching you through it, you're going to want a little bit of privacy. Hey, JC. Been sick. Would you catch the pneumonia or something, Brian? Oh, that's cool, Sergeant Jay.
Kelly. Why would my phone think I said Kelly?
I don't know. Barney Smolo, fine. I forgot to put slow-mo on here, so there's no way I'm keeping up with that chat if they get started. Oh. I actually been putting Smolo on at 15 seconds so I could stand a chance at following the chat when y'all get going. My eyes see movement and they focus on the movement. It's something I conditioned myself to a long time ago. Only my eyes don't focus as quick as they used to. So it makes it a little interesting, shall we say, to try and keep up with it. Not a lot going on tonight. I was and I'm not throwing a sales pitch or whatever, but what people won't say on YouTube, they say on Patreon, and I'm actually, I follow a few people on Patreon. Patreon. Yeah, Patreon. And there's stuff going on out there that we don't know about. You have to dig really, really hard to find it in the news. And you don't find it in the news. That's well, Just Aid and me and Wayne were talking last night, and the stuff that they're hearing about in the news over there is nothing like what we're hearing over here. What we're hearing about over there, what we hear about what's going on over in Europe and England and stuff, isn't what we hear over here. Pardon me, Great Britain, the United Kingdom, whatever it's called. What's it called, Just Aid? Am I supposed to call it Britain, Great Britain, United Kingdom? Yep. You don't know. I could remember something sometime. Like, I know my name, mostly. How am I supposed? Hey, step one. Well, I don't know. Great Britain, I guess. Maybe. Did Just Aid come in here yet?
Yes.
I thought. That is a really cool sheath, by the way, BA. That's awesome, actually. United Kingdoms. That's what I thought, because you got. We were talking about that last night, and parts of the United Kingdom don't want to be called English or something. So, I mean, it's like the English Isles, but kind of thing. The one thing I did not get, so I'm going to have to walk away. I've got to go get some lollipops. I'll be right back. Hey, wait. BA, check out my new shirt. Just got it in the mail. I felt lonely trying to relieve stress, so I went and got me a whole bag of Democrats. Unless you're a conservative Democrat. I mean, my apologies. What I get here, I got raspberry. Say that with the grandkid. Oh, she does not get the funnel cake, even though she always asks for the pink ones, because she knows that the pink ones are funnel cake. But she's also not here. So, yeah, I'm eating the grandkids' candy. That's not funnel cake, is it? Yeah. I'm going to say, I mean, you're not out a lot when they go, I don't like this one. It goes bouncing across the yard, and the dog goes and gets it and eats it, and then you have to go get him another one. These are, during the summer, we keep the pop ice or whatever, the little plastic tubes or whatever that you throw in the freezer. Who does the thing my daughter showed me how to do this? I didn't know you could do it. You wait until they're like really cold, and then you take them out while they're still like liquidy. You throw them on the ground or countertop, wherever, and they freeze. When you throw them down and you hit the hard surface, they freeze. They turn into slush. That's the coolest crap ever. These are not sugar-free. Now, let's look at that, Sergeant James. Let's see just how many calories are in one serving of Dum Dums. I'm gonna have to put these in my kit. Holy crap, I can't eat that many. I've been eating way too many of these. Oh, that's 2 pops. So I've been shorting my grandkids. Apparently 2 of these is 1 serving. 2, and no going to the counter and cheating. How many calories y'all think are in this one sucker? This Dum Dum. I freaked out. I'm like, what? So, but then again, we prep sugar because sugar is like, bam, calories. Like oatmeal, you can dump some sugar in your oatmeal, and then it goes from being a 50 or 100 calorie breakfast to being, 75 or 200, depending on how much sugar you put in there. It's 25 calories in this lollipop. Crazy. Oh, can you put your hands on those drop-down bags that we got? You know where they're at? I mean, if you don't,
I don't know what you're asking.
those black thigh packs we got. We have created a monster in my wife. Used to, we go to the thrift stores and stuff, and she still does it, but while she was doing her shopping, I would cruise around and I would find all the prepper stuff and really good buys and this, that, and everything else. And now I'm like looking for stuff, and she goes, "How about this?" And she hands me the items that I'm looking for. She's like beating me to the good stuff. It's
I know how to thrift shop.
Yeah, you do that. Anyway. Oh, this is. I was surprised she knew what it was. Belt hoop, leg strap, pocket. 2 of them. What were they, like $2 a piece or something?
Yeah.
I don't know what they go for regularly, but I mean, they're not new. They got some miles on them, but everything still works. All the buckles still work. All the Velcro still work. We didn't find any money or anything hidden in them, but they're got 2 of them. 1 for her, 1 for me. Now all we got to do is figure out how to incorporate this into our systems. Yeah. 2. And that's not all we got. We got like homestead and stuff that day too, huh? Like hand grinders and processors and
More of the silver
But 2 the stainless steel water bottles. You paid $1 a piece or $1.50 or something like that. See, I use sugar when I'm making my jerky. You use sugar and salt because both sugar and salt are what do you call it, microbes. So, in the absence of water, nothing can grow where there's sugar and salt. So I put sugar and salt both on my jerky when I make it, and then lasts forever. And Uncle Al, and some of you people that I thought I'd made, is there anybody that used to have a wrench in here that doesn't? Be honest with me, people. I got like things going on in my head. I'm just trying to make sure that the white tea police ain't being waffle sticks again. You still got a wrench, Smoking. Good try, though. Yay. I'm stingy with the wrenches because I gave LS one. She's like this super like slaughters everybody type person. If she's in the room, I don't need anymore. Between her and Mrs. West, it's like everybody's handled. I don't know who's quicker, her, LS, or Savage when they're in the room, as far as shutting down the trolls or whatever. I'm just like, okay, that went fast. Okay. Thank you, Chipper. That would be much appreciated. I trust JC Miller, and besides, I really like Miller Welders, and he's got a really cool icon there. So, and he has been around a lot. He ain't never got out of line or nothing. All ranching. And when Abrams, you come in here sometimes. I see you in BA's chat a lot. How many calves you expect this year, Trey? Or this birthing, rather. I know you shouldn't count them before they're birthed or whatever, but are all your cows? Did all your cows breed back? You hadn't that I know of. We just don't throw hot skillet words around, and we don't talk ugly about other people's faith or family or faces, and keep it friendly and clean, and everything's good. But on the BA, did you see Pastor Joe's video on getting ready for war or whatever, or be ready for war? Can't remember the title of it exactly. I was just like, dude, that's some of that stuff you don't want to hear about, or you don't want to think about, or whatever, but you really need to. Oh my goodness. And do not spend 16 hours cooking a turkey and then finally get a chance to eat it and act like it's the only meal you've had for 3 days or whatever, and just stuff yourself full of turkey. And then stuff. Not that I did that. That's Mrs. did that. I didn't do that. But I'm just saying, don't do that because you get uncomfortable. She's very uncomfortable right now. Hello, Chris Griffin. I didn't see you come in. Who else did I miss? I probably missed somebody else. If I miss you coming in the room, it's not that I'm trying to be rude. It's just that I'm lousy at reading the chat. Oh, prepare war. I actually caught a little bit of that Alex Jones video that people were redoing under different names or whatever. Couldn't watch it all because he's Alex Jones. I personally think the guy no longer even has the cracker in his possession. And he doesn't know where the cheese went. Okay. I mean, there's no cheese and there's no cracker. There's just fairly certain there is some kind of relief valve broken. So it's impossible to keep up with that chat while talking, unless you just do the chat and stuff. Like that one time we had like 40 something people, 40, 50 people in here at one time. I was like, what? Matt in here? Hey, Matt, how's it going? Hey, has anybody heard from Rachel yet? Somebody go to the hospital and find out she had the baby yet. I didn't tell her to push, so she's probably waiting on me to tell her to push. I'm just saying, I didn't think about that when the deal ended. I should have told her, hey, listen to the doctor when he tells you to push. Because I don't have any way of telling her that it's okay. No, so she's on her own. I did my best. Yeah, it was on Patreon only. I missed a lot of stuff on his channel because I'm just a dollar guy. Not bad Viking. I don't miss a lot of stuff. I miss out on some of the bigger perks or whatever. What I need from Pastor Joe, I can get for $1 a month. I don't need him to answer my emails. You know, there you go. I don't need a personal consultant. I've got my stuff under control. I think, I hope, I pray. I've got a consultant. I got a security specialist over there. An economics advisor, all that stuff. I don't need any of that. I like his little insights and tidbits on current affairs and stuff like that because he's got so many followers and stuff that are willing to pay him a little extra so that he'll do the emails and stuff and everything back and forth with them. And he's got more contacts than the rest of us do, so he'll find out stuff and he'll put videos out there for the $1 a month guys. And there's a lot of stuff on Patreon, and that's what a lot of people don't get. There's a lot of stuff on Patreon that's free. You don't have to people put stuff on their channel to let you see what they do on their channel. So
Don't you forget you need a yoga coach.
yes, I need a yoga coach. Because whenever I become Emperor of Texas, I'm going to make all the ladies exercise doing yoga, and I need somebody to coach them because I don't want to actually do the work. I just want to sit back and watch the athletics. Me and Chip are not doing yoga.
He offered.
It's not happening.
He offered. You can't be rude when someone offers.
You and Chipper can do yoga outside. Me and Sadie will sit there and drink coffee and watch. Yogurt. There you go. A yogurt coach. Yeah, I need somebody who knows how to make yogurt so I can throw it out.
Frozen yogurt mixed with cold brew coffee is flipping delicious.
Okay, now that is good. But, yeah. That's not something we're going to do at the house, I don't know.
Mike the Creek Man Jones, I'm new here. What's up with the blue wrenches?
The blue wrenches, they're like the hammers from above. If anybody gets out of line, they axe them. There are people that have been coming to the chat for a really, really long time. And most of them we speak outside of YouTube. So I can try and come to think of it. Yeah. All right, you win, Brian. I guess if I can touch you with my phone number, I can give you the wrench. There you look like everybody else. And plus, I have to ask them if they don't want to be a wrench. I don't make them a wrench. But not everybody that asks it to be a wrench gets to be a wrench. I made my son a wrench, and I regret that. Not that he's a bad wrench, just that he's my son. What I found out about reloading, I mean, SOS knows reloading. I don't know reloading. I'm not going to lie about that. If you want to know reloading, you go to Staff Sergeant's channel and watch his videos. He got videos on reloading. I have a complete reloading setup. I've got the tumbler. I've got the resizing dies. I've got the stuff for, I can do, I think I can do 270, 25-06. I believe I've got capacity for 357 and 44 Magnum. But I've never touched it. I inherited it from my brother. I've got all the dyes. I've got rifle powder. I've got black powder. I've got slugs. I've got primers. I've got casings. I didn't get the Reloader's Bible. So that's something I watched my brother learn how to do it, and you can mess up. It doesn't take too much powder to play around. My brother thought it was funny one time. He reloaded some ammunition for me because I was borrowing that rifle that hangs up here sometimes, the Ruger, the stainless steel. So he was kind enough to load me some special ammunition when I was going to go hunting. He put black powder in the cartridges. The bullet came out the other end. A wall of smoke and fire did also. He's very funny. And that's something just going to turn into a commercial for Step 1 Survival and them on Patreon. I got a Patreon too if y'all want to throw me some money. But Step 1 puts out PDFs that are just like slap full of useful data, information, skill. You get instructions on how to turn written words into hands-on skills. I've got see this is an external hard drive. I had to go get this so that I would have room to store all the flipping PDFs and stuff that BA puts on Patreon. Got some good music on there too. Just saying.
$375 Winchester gun.
I don't have one of those. 375 Winchester. Why am I not familiar at all with that round? I do not want to expand my calibers anymore. I mean, I would like to have another rifle, another deer rifle, but I want it in 270. Because I don't want to store. I'd rather store 20,000 rounds of the same ammunition than have 20 different calibers of weapons with 1,000 rounds each. Because, you know, reloading gets a lot simpler if you only got to come up with one size slug and this, that, and everything else. I like the idea of bolt gun, having a bolt action rifle. Granted, it's not the best option in the world, but like my 270, granted, copper casings are nice, but I do not have to have a copper casing. You know, worst case scenario, I do not have to have a copper casing on my slug that I'm reloading. I can make my own slugs. You know, my effective range or accurate range drops a little bit. And you know, I need to be careful making my own slugs, but it's something that can be done.
As a novice around guns, what's a good rifle to own? I am Canadian, so no autos.
Canadian laws confuse me, but you can have a bolt action gun. It just can only, you know, you also have a capacity thing, right? So basically, one in the pipe and two in the clip. I think y'all only allowed like 3 in the gun at one time or some crap like that, or maybe 4. I don't know. For what y'all got going, if you can only afford to buy one rifle and you're going big game hunting, well, actually in Canada, most of your shots are within 50 yards if you're going for whitetail and stuff like that. So you're looking at, you know, actually if you get a single shot breakover in a 223, there you go. If you're wanting something that you can go bang, 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 up to 10 rounds or whatever, Marlin or the Ruger 1022 or the Model 60. I don't even know if you can have the Model 60 up there because it's, you know, it's a 17 round capacity. Need to find out about that. I don't even know. No, you can have the Ruger 1022 up there because the Wooded Beardsman just bought one.
Do you have a muzzle loader?
The only muzzleloader I have is a single shot breakover. It's actually a muzzle loading shotgun, but it'll accept cartridges. It's designed to fire 12 gauge slug, but it's technically a muzzle loader. So it's called a hang on it. Forget what it's called. It's an H&R gun, but you can take the muzzle loader barrel off of it and snap on any other 12 gauge H&R barrel. You can put a 20 gauge on it, 410, whatever barrel setup you want to put on it, a snapshot in. It won't accept a rifle barrel.
That's what I said. I need to get a 410 pump early.
You know, in Walmart every once in a while they have those come through really cheap. They've got a little who makes it? I can't remember the make of it now, but they've got some little 410s that I think they go like 140, 160, something like that. They bring them in groups of 3. They'll bring in 3 12s, 3 20s, and 3 410s. I have 3 single shot breakover 12 gauges. Right. Yeah, 3. I have 1 bolt action 20 gauge. It's a Mossberg. It's a really nice gun. It's old. It's old as the hills.
I got it when he was little.
Ha ha ha. Got it when Sean was little. Bought 2 of them. Bought 1 for Lee and 1 for Sean. And Leland traded his for 45. Uh, 1911 and 45. What am I missing over here? Are you going to start him out with a pump first? You don't want to start him out with one of the little $99 Walmart breakovers? And the little breakovers, the little H&R breakovers are indestructible. Almost. You got to keep them clean and oiled, but yeah, I lost me now. See, that was my first. Let me make sure. I don't want to lie about this. Yeah, my first shotgun. You know, I've shot some before that. I'd actually shot a 410 first. First shotgun I ever shot was a 410. But my first shotgun was a J.C. Higgins breakover 20 gauge.
Florida pirate. Talking about his name.
Hey, Florida. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the thumbs up and stuff on the video earlier, too. Yeah, I got my kids the 20 gauges, and they'd already shot my 12 gauge, and then they just always wanted to fight over who was going to shoot my duct tape gun. That's the one they always want to use. They they want to shoot that gun. Well, except for Lee now because he has that really cool. I think he's got a Remington or something like that. It's it's sweet. It's got like a him with a stab you in the face thing on the front of it. It's really cool. I don't know if it's actually to stab people in the face with or whatever, but it's got like little jagged points sticking out. And I mean, what else you gonna do with it? You leaving, Smolo? You gonna do? I thought you were gonna stick around and do the after show. AHNX Media. I was talking to him on Abrams, but I don't think I actually said hello. See, I'm lousy at this live stream thing. I don't even know why people come over. What am I? Oh, my two oldest brothers, the ones that moved back here and are blah blah blah. Anyway, they went and got a 30-06. Did 222. I'd shot it. It wasn't much to it, but at 11, I was really skinny. You know, I may have weighed 100 pounds, maybe. But anyway, they were shooting their new rifle, and I was like, "Hey, can I shoot that?" And I said, and they're like, "Well, if you want to." I said, "Does it kick very much?" And they're like, "No." They picked me up off the ground. Yeah, it kicked a lot. The gun never hit the ground because they were expecting it, and they caught the gun on the way by. They let me hit the dirt, but they grabbed the gun. I went back and shot it again. It didn't knock me down that time because I knew it kicked. You know, I would really like a 10 gauge. I don't know if I could handle shooting it. Have you ever seen the old 4 gauges? Those were stupid. They didn't have a deal to put them on your shoulder. They weren't meant to be shot by a human being, shouldered by a human being. They had a completely different purpose than that. Hold on, technical difficulties. The camera stopped working. Oh my gosh, we'll have to work through that.
What does the title mean?
Well, I was going to talk about the possibility of World War III, but we're talking about more funner stuff. I mean, we can all be depressed when we get out of here. We can just, realize that, hey, we better get plenty of beans, bullets, and water and call it good. I mean, who in this room, and I will need you to signify by I or me or something like that, who in this room currently has enough calories for each individual dependent on them for 12 months in reserve? I mean, your neighbor's cat does not count. And Chipper, your neighbor doesn't count. See, that's our problem. We can't get caught up on the coffee. Every time we get like ahead on the coffee, we start drinking it. Who's gonna watch your back, Chipper? Come on, man. I mean, you can be out there, yeah, all kinds of bad stuff can happen to you while you sharpen your lawnmower blade. You don't know.
Since the neighbor's cat don't know, I don't have enough.
Who's that?
H&M.
Oh, sorry. Well, if he's got like more than one cat, I guess. It's that stuff. Okay, Brother BA, the what people don't realize is that Iran is a close military ally with both China and Russia. They have economic agreements with both Russia and China. Iran and their cronies are on the side of the communist bloc. So they're all tied again. I don't think it'll be China and Russia going to war. I think it'll be China, Russia, and the hardcore Middle East that agree that, okay, we're going to draw a line right here. We won't go into y'all countries, but y'all will not interfere with us taking over Europe. Basically, Russia gets most of their eastern bloc back, and instead of expanding east, the Muslims will expand west. And China will go into India and Japan and the China Sea. See, India would actually be on our side. Mostly not because they like us that much, but because they don't like China. And right now, India is in a world of hurt. China has dammed up all the rivers going into India from China. Northern India is having a massive shortage of water for irrigation. Okay. They're suffering crop failures because of China's water policies. China built the dams, put in hydroelectric dams, and then down from the hydroelectric dam, they have another dam that catches the water from the hydroelectric dam, and then it's used for irrigation. And very little of the water makes it all the way down the river into India. And they're really getting pissed about that. But we don't hear anything about that in the news.
Anyone seen Sasquatch?
I haven't heard from him in a few days. Yeah, but when you come up with a plan and the technology and stuff to make it work, then it's kind of scary. Everybody thinks you need this really big, fancy ship or submarine or whatever to launch one of those things. A nuclear warhead capable of an EMP that could black out New York City or Washington, D.C. and the surrounding 150, 200 miles or whatever wouldn't have to be that big. And it could be launched from a fishing trawler. And it could be launched with a missile that has a range of 500 miles. And if it was going straight up and then detonating, it would be really, really hard to do anything about it. I don't understand why something like that hasn't happened yet. I think the other countries are getting set up to harden all their stuff against retaliation. I think what Pastor Joe say, China and Russia and Iran are they've told all their citizens to get ready for it. Maybe it's just propaganda or whatever. That would be cool. But I don't know. Used a cargo ship, BA? Troops are being sent, but there's some kind of snafu with the Pentagon guy. He doesn't want them to do policing stuff unless the president signs a deal saying, okay, they're allowed to be police or whatever, because technically there's a law that says the United States military cannot act in a police what do you call it? You can't be the United States military can't do policing stuff inside the United States. It's against the law. The Army cannot become the Gestapo police unless there's some kind of emergency or whatever declared and the president gives them specific orders and permissions and stuff. And the president actually hasn't done that. The president deployed the military down there to harden the border against the influx of illegal aliens. The problem is, it's the Pentagon is worried that the problems will arise from demonstrators on the northern side of the border. And that's why they would have to, for the troops to actually be armed and operating in a policing fashion, they would have to have permissions and orders specifying what their rules of engagement were, what their authorities were, the reasons for their authorities, there's all kinds of bull stuff that goes into something like that. So yeah, that's all I know about that. I know that they're down there, they're building, the military's building tent cities, if you will, to house the people that are coming over because Trump has decided there's not going to be any more catch and release. So it's the protesters that will be the citizens, the protesters on the northern side of the border, all the people that are, little Antifa peoples and stuff like that are going to be protesting them not letting the people come over and stuff. The military's, unless the military has permission, if a United States citizen throws a rock at a United States Army guy, the United States Army guy does not have the authority to arrest that person unless specifically given the authority by the commander-in-chief because of a state of emergency. It's what prevents the government. It's one of the laws that prevent the government from just using the Army as military police to take over the country. That making sense? There's a lot of loopholes and bureaucracy and stuff that go into it and everything. There's a lot more to it than what I'm saying, but I don't have the words and y'all don't have the time for me to sit here and try to explain it. It would take a college course to understand all the loops involved in getting around that. They can go down and build bridges. They can build fences. They can build hospitals. They can build roads. They can blow up bridges. They can put up Constantine wire and landmine. Well, I don't think they can put up landmines. But they can build a temporary wall and stuff. They can detain people coming across the border, but they cannot act in a policing format. They can't do crowd control. Okay, they're not the United States Army and the Marines and stuff like that are not there to be the police. After a hurricane or something, they're given special, permissions or whatever, responsibilities, duties, because it's a state of emergency. And there hasn't been a state of emergency declared at the southern border yet. The militia, as long as they're above board, straightforward, and operating compliance with state and federal laws, and are willing to accept the authority of the governing powers of the state and the union, the militias can do quite a lot. The militias cannot go down there and act independently of the government, or the militia actually will be operating outside of the laws. Yeah, that's I'm talking to. So the militia thing is scary. One militia lady thought she was gonna she ruined it for everybody else. She thought she was gonna pop a drug dealer and take his money and use it to fund more stuff on the border. And she killed a family. Her and her co-people murdered a family. I'm not going to call them innocent. The child was innocent. I'm glad they're on death row for the child's sake. I mean, what they did was wrong. There's no other way around it. Don't care if the guy was a drug dealer or not. His little 7-year-old girl wasn't. So there. Those 3 militia members who were openly active in the Minutemen militia do a bullseye on the back of anybody on the border trying to help as militia. Now, if you want to help on the border, militiamen, if you want to help on the border, you, what is the word? When you work with, you talk to them, you say, okay, what do y'all, you ask the Border Patrol, what do you need us to do? You cooperate. You can't go down there and act independently. All right, good night, BA. Thanks for stopping by. Seriously, everybody go, if y'all need reloading help or whatever, or stuff like that, I mean, y'all sub step 1. That's why we're having the after show, because he has a channel. And somebody a long time ago made a joke, and I took him up on it, and here we are. And I love doing this. This is fun. There are U.S. troops on the border, but they're not there as police. Okay? That's the difference. The military is down there building detention centers. That's what they're doing. Hey, Tibor and Dry Fire, I was answering your comment earlier. So anyway, I'll say hello. Great Scott. Hey, Great Scott. But it's tricky. I mean, and we don't want, as American citizens, as responsible American citizens, people who believe in the Constitution and the rights of others, not just our rights. We can't keep screaming our right, our First Amendment rights. It's everybody's First, Second, Third, Fourth, Fifth, whatever Amendment rights. We all have the same rights. We have to be equally concerned with other people's rights as our own rights, constitutional rights, okay? So to be a real constitutionalist, you have to understand that the Constitution governs everybody. And that's the difference. I mean, the illegal immigrants, I used the wrong word again. Illegal aliens, the criminals that come over here illegally, do not have constitutional rights. They're not citizens. Citizens, nationalized Americans, or nationalized aliens, whatever. I forget the role. Anyway, that you got a green card or a permanent visa, or you're a citizen, you got rights. You got constitutional rights. You have civil rights, because civil rights are for humans. Okay, that's where they keep kicking us in the butt, is they're making everything a civil right. Okay, not everything out there is a civil right. Not every right. See, I mean, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You can't say, well, my constitutional rights guarantee that I have the right to pursue happiness. Ted Bundy was just trying to be happy. The guy that got beat to death a few years ago by the dad that caught him behind the barn with his little girl, that guy was just trying to be happy. Your pursuit of happiness isn't a constitutional right if it causes harm, or whether it be physical, emotional, or whatever, to somebody else. Now, I do believe as long as it's ethical and above board, everything's fair in business. I disagree with cutting people's throat. I don't believe in using the brother-in-law tactic to get a contract, or we found out about a deal today. This place needs contract bumper, but they're not going to hire anybody because there's a grandson thing going on. The grandson was a loser. His granddad was tired of floating the boat, so he got him the job. Now his granddad just does the work for him while he draws his check. You know, chases him over there every once in a while, makes him make an appearance, and this, that, and everything else. That, I don't agree with that. You know, granddad needs to kick the boy to the curb. You know, the guy needs to come home, his camper needs to be gone, and the keys need to be, needs to take the keys to his truck away, and he says, and then I get out, get off, don't ever come back to my dirt. And the boy's capable. He's not stupid. He's not crippled. He's not an addict. He's got no excuse. He just don't want to. He knows he don't have to. a lot of us are guilty of taking too good a care. We, rather than taking care of, and by taking care of, I mean instead of teaching our young ones to be adults, we coddle them. And by coddling them, we ruin them. And by ruining them, we damage our society, we damage our country, we bring our own selves closer to destruction by the way we choose to raise our children. And that's a fact. We no longer have an American culture. We used to have an American culture. They've made American culture, which was very diverse, they've made American culture a bad thing. And the only cultures that matter are the old cultures, the cultures from across the puddles and stuff, and the cultures that were here. We don't want to go back to Native American cultures, okay? The tribal cultures from when the Native peoples, the First Nations, run the Americas and Europe hadn't got here. They killed each other all the time. They were constantly at war at their borders, trying to push this one out, push this one over. They were fighting all the time. They weren't these, tree hugging, pipe smoking, spirit worshiping, peace loving. Okay? They weren't. We didn't, they didn't invent the word warrior after the Europeans showed up. Human nature. The same reason there will never be peace on earth is the same reason it's always the same. History always repeats itself. The human animal is in the mix. So it's never going to work. It's never going to work for long. We've gone too far away from our original form of government. I haven't read that one, Sergeant James. And it's not just here. Was it Great Scott? Are you in your Great Scott? Because I'm pretty sure the Aboriginals over there in Australia used to like chunk spears at each other too. Government does not want us self-sufficient. And this is something people don't realize what's going on in rural America. Okay. They're taking away the ability of small communities to stand on their own. 50 years ago, there were small towns with their own grocery store all over the place. And they just kept coming up with reasons why people couldn't stay in the small towns. There are people driving 2 and 3 hours. They'll drive an hour to go to work. And then after they get to work, they've got to put in 2 hours worth of road time from their shop to where they're doing the work. And there are people that leave Scurry County, drive to Midland County, punch the clock, get in the company vehicles, and drive back to Scurry County to do the work. Jones County, same thing. There's 4 towns I can think of that direction. that are done. They finally managed to kill the grocery stores. Back up all along I-20 and several other highways, they literally went in and put in tiny Walmart grocery stores. These grocery stores had all the groceries you could want at super prices. Everything was cheap. The local grocer could not compete. The local grocers closed their doors. Everybody thought they were getting the best thing in the world. Walmart was coming in, putting all these people to work. They were giving them more competitive prices on the groceries and everything, so everybody was happy with it. As soon as mom and pop's grocery store, as soon as all the independent grocers association stores closed, they closed the Walmarts. Now the people have to drive upwards of 30 minutes from city limits to city limits just to get to the town where they can get groceries. And 35 minutes in Texas is a long damn ways. It ain't over there in Tennessee and Georgia and Alabama and Mississippi. I ain't never had so much trouble making time. I mean, I can get from one side of Texas to the other side of Texas in half the time it takes me to get to Alabama. Because once you in Texas, it's you get on the road and they got speed limits, and like if your truck will do it, you can get there. 35 minutes is not 30. I mean, a 45-mile drive for us, 38 minutes if we do the speed limit. 45 miles over yonder, it's like an hour and a half. Crazy. I may be exaggerating a little bit, and Georgia doesn't have coffee, so don't go there. That's the craziest crap ever. Am I exaggerating, LS? Did I get that close? I mean, on the time, the amount of... Yes. There's a 85 mile per hour zone. Hour and 35 minutes from me, and boom, I can get to El Paso really quick. Because it's like the speed limit is 85. The highway patrolman car only do 115. If you're bumping 110, by the time he gets turned around and stuff, you can exit. See, and our roads are, it's like somebody went out there with a chalk line and went, bing. So, okay, let's build that road right there. The biggest problem you got in Texas is not falling asleep. If you're lucky, God put a rock in the way that it was easier to go around, or he put a river there, or some old guy that wouldn't sell the dirt or whatever, or, was dating the governor's daughter or something, so they went around the corner of his property. That's where his grandpa shot his first bunny rabbit or something, so they didn't want to put a road on it. So there's actually a curve. It curves, goes around the piece of property, and curves back, and goes back to straight. So you get a curve this way and a curve that way. So you actually do something. Those Uber cars, self-driving cars, they would work here. I mean, the car just has to hold it straight. Hey, Ranger. We got a paved road in front of our house that ain't even got no center stripe on it, and the speed limit on it is 60. I mean, we figure if you're too dumb to keep to your side of the road, you deserve to have a head on. I mean, we drive. Now, we do have problems when we get New Mexicans over here. You know, last thing you want to see driving in the state of Texas is a New Mexico license plate. Those people are rude. And I'm sorry, if you're from New Mexico, I mean no insult unless you're over here driving in my state. If you're going to drive like that, stay in, seriously, stay in New Mexico or go to Dallas. You can drive like that in Dallas. I don't care. There are other people on the road. We do have signs up to say drive friendly, and we mean it, except for Dallas and Austin, because those people aren't from here. That's not even Texas. Austin is not Texas. If you think that if you've lived in Austin, Houston, or Dallas, that you have lived in Texas, the answer is no, you have not. That's not Texas. Texas is pretty slow paced, friendly, and pretty easy living. We work hard, we play harder, we help each other. And that's why I don't understand why it's so hard to find preppers. Well, no, most of the mags and stuff around here are real quiet. The people are pretty much already set up. I think is the biggest deal. Most of them have managed to do it through churches. But the churches that are doing that kind of stuff together are not churches I can attend because my doctrine doesn't line up with theirs. Tried. There's actually a church I'm thinking about going and visiting tomorrow. I really like the church. I really like the pastor. He's a fervent believer in the word. He's well versed and he preaches good. He can step on my toes easy. You get all up in your face, right up in your feelings. Make you feel bad about being a human being just like that. But he has his wife down as the co-pastor of the church. Women can't hold the office of pastor. It's not sound doctrine. Women are intelligent. There's a lot of women out there are a lot smarter than men, plain and simple. Women have a very strong character and they have a very profound ability to possess faith. That's not who God wanted in charge. It wasn't up to us. I follow God, so we'll have to do what he says. This house would run a lot smoother if, I just wore the head covering and run with it, which she doesn't wear a head covering. I don't do, that's between, but, it's not what God wants, so I have to man up. But I want to or not. And is there anybody from Colorado in here? She runs the checkbook, and I'm supposed to make the decisions on everything else. And she's actually pretty stingy with input. So she is a proverb. Which Proverbs is that? She's rubber stamp good wife from the Bible. I'll guarantee you. She's a good one. Except for the stabbing part.
Nowhere in the Bible does it say I can't threaten to stab you. I've never seen that verse. Show it to me.
Dang. She's well versed in scriptures also. Does it have to be specifically stab?
It does not. You have to show me a verse that says, "Wife, do not threaten to stab your husband."
There's not one in there.
Exactly. So see.
Jeez. Okay. Whatever. And that's Wes S. losing a theological discussion with Mrs. Wes S. You're welcome.
Stop while you're ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There any kids in here? Any people of low emotional character or anything like that? Because I don't want to kill the camera, but I'm going to smoke. And I don't want anybody yelling at me and stuff. It's not a ham sandwich. Oh, dude. It's right there. It's right there. I dusted it. I was actually going to go last weekend, but no. I go tomorrow afternoon though.
Oh, she said Little's right there. They have to birthday to Little.
What's your ruling?
Yeah, but I don't know if she went to the.
Oh, happy birthday, little LS. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I got you a cake, but Mrs. West ate it. And I'm sorry. You'll get over it. You need a safety pin, dude? I got one somewhere. That's like my favorite video. If y'all go back into my old videos, okay, you will see a video of a Texas snowflake. Okay. That was not my idea. That was her.
What did I do?
When you said, "Oh, look, a snowflake melted," and it was like a 4th of July or something like that. That's about when it would be about the 4th of July. She's like, "Oh, look, a snowflake melted." There's a wet spot on the sidewalk and a safety pin. So we made a video, and it was funny. It was very funny. The West Wind sneak in.
Mm-hmm.
It's little LS. Ah.
Brian's out.
All right, Brian, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, wow. Coming up on 2 hours again, isn't it?
No.
Oh, did BA run over or something? Or did time already change?
No, time has not changed.
I'm so confused right now.
We started streaming 84 minutes. So 90 minutes is an hour and a half.
Okay. Oh, wow. You see, my sister lives up there in the Portland, Oregon area, and I don't know how she does it, man.
She's been there as it's grown.
Yeah, she's watched it grow. That's like Texarkana. I mean, it wasn't that big. I mean, it didn't take hardly any time to get to 7th Street from the edge of town or whatever. It was like really easy. And I went down to 7th Street when I went to help Kyle. Just like forever in there. I mean, all the loops and stuff you got to get through to get to that building. It was crazy. Yeah, you'll be all right, Chipper. Just pretend it's incense. Insensitivity. You know, I feel bad. Ever since I fixed that hole under the house, the crawl space hole, to where it would like stay closed, I haven't had snakes in my den, which really makes me wonder if I shouldn't like go under the house and look right now. I'm not going to because, well, I don't really like snakes that much. But yeah, that's like a friend of mine that, I mean, we've been friends since 5th grade. He has, he's lived in Lubbock since it was 98,000 people, and he doesn't notice it. He doesn't notice that there's that many people crammed into that place now. I don't even know what are they, 320, something like that. Abilene's getting crazy too. I want to go to San Angelo one of these weekends, just because I want to take the grandkids with. I want to go. I want to do the walkthrough on the Fort Concho again. If anybody's in Texas and you get a chance to go to San Angelo and go see Fort Concho, pay for the tour, take the tour. It's amazing. I mean, if you like history, if you're lucky, you will get the same tour guide we got last time. The guy's grandfather or great grandfather, something like that. Anyway, the man who gave us the tour, one of his he was a direct descendant of one of the people that stacked the rocks that made that fort. I think some of the artifacts they had in the that he showed us or whatever were stuff that was from his personal collection that he brought down just for when he gave the tours. So when he's there, you get a special deal because his great granddad or whatever was like a sergeant at the fort or whatever. People lived in the officers' quarters at that fort until 1978, I believe. The houses were built that well. You could move into any one of those houses right now and live. You could move into that fort and live. It was 98 degrees outside. You go into the barracks, it was 70 something. And it's a hands-on, you can touch. They let you can touch the building and the furniture and stuff. It's so cool. If you lived in West Texas, you'd be a flat earther too. Trust me. I mean, I can see 100 miles. Why do you think everybody plays golf around here? You don't have to worry about the ball rolling back away from where you smack it to. It just kind of goes boom, and stops rolling. Just right there. Actually, there's some pretty nice golf courses around here. I don't play golf because I look funny. Because for me to like, whenever I drive the ball like off the tee or whatever, like if the hole's over there, I have to aim over there because when I smack the golf ball, it goes in this big round spinning arc. I have a really bad cut, and I'm not going to spend all the time and money on green fees to fix it. I didn't like the game that much anyway. I do like putt putt. Yeah, it's because the black bears ain't scared of folks up there where you're at anymore, West Wind. They haven't been puppy fed. That's like, I mean, more people get bit by friendly dogs. That dog's never hurt anybody because the dogs aren't scared of people around here no more. Exactly. I've checked it. Okay. You shouldn't be able to get up on top of a 4-story building and see 44 miles. But we are in a bowl. We're in our county's a low spot. Maybe that's what it is. It's uphill to everywhere from here, which I don't understand, considering we're supposed to be round. What? I missed something. Y'all are talking about something that's way. That's like tennis. Tennis has got to be the most exciting sport ever. It's kind of fun to play when you're young. I wouldn't play it now because, well, it hurts. But yeah. What's that thing they play with the sticks with the net on the end of it, and they beat the crap at each other for a ball and stuff? That's that. That looks like fun. It's actually fun to watch too. It's like rugby. Rugby's really fun to watch, especially when it rains. Rugby is fun to watch in the rain because somebody's going to get hurt. Good night, Savage. Kiss the baby. It's not filled. They got another word for it. It's the cross. Yeah, you got that one. Look, which is actually they stole it from Indians. Hey, we got people with families and lives and stuff having to back out or whatever. That and that one game that they play with the big weaved Scoopy Majiggers. Flipping, those things are, I forget how fast they say those stinking balls are going, but get hit with one, it can kill you. Oh, yeah. Hello, Walter. I just talked your comment without saying your name. Sorry. Badminton's fun. I'm sorry, but it is. We like to play volleyball. Volleyball's fun. Until people get all serious and stuff. There's a bunch of volleyball leagues around here, but I mean, those people are out there like, oh. Why can't you just play to have fun? And, if you get beat, it's all good. If you win, it's all good. Why can't it be like that? I mean, I'm embarrassed when people are like, oh, yeah, we slaughtered you. I'm like, dude, shut up, man. And I'm on the winning team. I mean, it embarrasses me when I act like that. This is churchly, dude. Calm down. That is good. Pineapple. Remember to keep it clean in the chat, guys. I like horseshoes. Horseshoes is fun. Horseshoes, and believe it or not, I like washers and is it the beanbag game? Beanbag. Washers can be super competitive. I don't like that thing where they do it. They got the slanted board or whatever with a hole and a circle and all that crap. I don't like that. Washers are supposed to be played like horseshoes. There is an out of bounds circle, and in the hole is so many points. Everyone closer to the hole than the other guy's washer is a point. And if one guy pitches, goes in the hole, and you cover him, his other points in the hole don't count. That's washers, and it should be played. The hole should be a metal cup inserted into the sand. That way, sliders don't count. Okay, you got the metal ring, so you pitch a slider in, it hits the cup and it bounces off. You actually have to pitch the washer into the hole. That's washers. I've been playing washers a long time. This new washer stuff they're playing is something that some guy got tired of losing, because anybody can slide washers in, okay? It takes real skill to pitch them in the hole. Just saying. Chris Griffin, what is that game y'all are talking about? Well, lawn darts was a stupid game. Lawn darts is fun for adults if there's not very much drinking involved. Oh, that's what I said. Beanbags. That's a game I've already called out. That we don't call it cornhole around here. Cornhole means something completely different, and we don't talk like around here. Not around ladies. Yes. Called beanbag. Drinking. Yeah. Look, you got me right in the solar plexus. We're going to have to go to the hospital. Hold my beer. I'll go get the keys. People were going to the hospital. But then again, I've been stabbed how many times playing darts? You've been stabbed twice. Darts is dangerous. But at least, they're little darts. They're not lethal. They hurt like crap. But they're not lethal. Yeah, that's true, Walt. But if you think about it, that's not something you'd want to play on an open lawn because all it takes is for a toddler to get away. And once the dart's left your hands, there's nothing you can do about it. Basically, it was, I don't know how to explain it, but the darts weighed, I don't know, half a pound. They had was about a 3-inch spear on the end of them and 3 or 4-inch fins or whatever. You could chunk one. You could bury one up in a piece of plywood. Good night, Sergeant James. Stretch, is that what he's talking about?
Yeah.
Stretch.
We call it stretch.
We call it stretch. And again, you have to, there's outer bounds and the spinning and yada, yada, yada. I used to be pretty good at that. Can't play that anymore either. They actually used to let us play it on the playground, and they quit.
I like mumbly peg too. I was good at that.
Mumbly peg's a little dangerous, but yeah. But
I was really good at it. Mumbly peg is the one where you do your own hand.
Oh, the thing?
Yes.
Oh,
That's what we call mumbly peg.
No,
Stretch was where you threw the knife. Mumbly peg was where you used the knife on your hand.
mumbly peg is like you gotta throw the knife specific deals or whatever, but you got to throw it between two people, and it's weird because like the way we played it, if you moved your feet, it counted against you, but if the other person stuck you,
Where you go?
You know, I mean, that was part of it, but there's more to it. It's a really Mumsy Pig is a very complicated game, and I never was good at it because I just always thought it was funny just to go ahead and chunk it in somebody's foot. And, well, yeah, then you wind up in a fight, and it's all like people and their like over competitive nature is just pathetic. Okay, I don't know that one either. Right, you can't move your feet. If you move your feet, you lose. But if they stick your foot, you lose. So, like, if I stick your foot, I lose. But if you move your foot, you lose. So it's like chicken on steroids with a really sharp object. Are you out, Frank?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Good night, Walter. Yeah, I probably gotta get some sleep too, sometime or other. I like washers. Washers is really fun. I had 2 sets of washers around here somewhere. But like I say, nobody wants to play them the way I grew up playing them. It's like horseshoes. The holes are 15 steps apart. That's 15 yards. You're pitching from you're pitching at you're taking a 2-inch washer and throwing it at a 2.5-inch hole 15 yards away. You've got a 3-foot circle. Anything outside the 3-foot circle doesn't count. And there is actually a lip around the hole, so you can't, because you're playing on sand and a washer's flat. You can get a flip spin going and throw it low across the ground, and that washer will literally skip right across the ground, and when it gets to the hole, it just falls in. It doesn't, you've got to have a little talent, but it doesn't take a whole lot of skill. You can luck out on a lot of scores like that. But if you've got the lip around it where you can't slide it in, it's a really hard game. And trust me, I used to play for money. Used to lose a lot of money. Used to win some money. But Westman, you still in here? I got a confession to make. I was using it and I got scuffed it up. Mrs. West made me do it. I don't get nothing from nobody that I don't use a dog snot out of. It's proof you can. Okay. All right, guys, we're coming up on the yes. So more naive. I really like this. This is what I was using on the Addle thrower. I hooked the string on something and it come off. I've got it still here.
Except for the fishing pole.
See, Tibor, what you should do is right now in the comments, you should say, Mrs. West, I would take it as a personal favor if you would force Wes to go fishing. Tell him to stop being such a fine, upstanding, responsible human being and just take a day and go fishing. And make her make me go fishing. It can. I mean, I'm going to hone it a little bit. It's sharp. It's not West sharp. So I'm going to fix that. But it was doing the work. Man, I really like this knife. I always thought they were like way more expensive than they actually are. I mean, there's levels of mores, so I understand that. Thank you, Tibor. It's not that she'll let me go. It's me. I'll think, oh man, I'm gonna go fishing. Then I look at the Wesley get this done list, and I'm like, oh man, I can either blow 5 hours at the water, having fun, relaxing, catching fish, doing what I really want to be doing, or I can do these chores. And if I don't do the chores, they're not going to get done. And yeah, I always wind up like I'm a jerk and I always talk myself out of going fishing. So, yeah, there's that. What's your producer? That's not funny. I hate this time of year. When I was 17, 18, 19, 20, all the way up to about 26, I was like, oh, yeah, here cometh the night. I would get off work. It'd be dark. I mean, by the time I got out of the truck, the work truck, in my car, got to the house, it was coming up on dark. So I would get in. I wouldn't because I was fixing to go run. I can get in, put my running clothes on. I'd go out. I'd run 2 miles. I mean, in a day, it could be 20 degrees outside. I wore running shoes, socks, shorts, and a t-shirt. And I ran. And then I did not jog, I ran. And then I would come in, I would shower, and it was dark. And I would go out and I would become like this really not nice person.
Tell LS good night.
Good night, LS. Good night, little LS person. Happy birthday again. What? Okay. I know y'all got a conversation going, but I'm gonna bail on y'all. We'll get off of here. Put up some turkey and get some sleep and close church. See y'all in church, or well, I won't see you in church, but why don't y'all go see somebody in church? Love y'all. God bless y'all. Y'all still alive. Don't die. Remember, food, water, enough for everybody you're responsible for 12 months. And if you think they need 2,000 calories, it's 4. Okay? Love you. Stay alive. Don't die.